Okay, how's everybody doing today? My name is Kent. The time is it's Monday, December 18th, and it's about 1:20 in the PM in San Diego, California. That's where I'm at. So it looks like the price of Bitcoin is spiking a little bit right now. Let me see. Don't want to see that. Go back to Bitcoin. Move the screen over just a little bit. Got it too far off to the left, or too far off to the right for your right. So anyway, Bitcoin's gone up here quite a bit here the last couple hours. And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, these ETFs are going to get finished and done. Like I said in the title, we've been waiting 10 years for this. Those twins, I can't remember what their names are. They're the ones that originally started to do this 10 years ago. Winklevoss twins or whatever. I can't remember what their names were. But anyway, they tried to get a spot ETF 10 years ago, and it didn't happen. And since that time, there's been a lot of people try to get one, just hasn't happened. But it looks like now it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen. So price is spiking. There's a buying strategy out there I saw on Reddit. This is the buying strategy. It's down here, buy, up here, up here, up here, buy, 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 buy. Everything's buy. That's basically the buying strategy for Bitcoin right now. The unbeatable trading strategy for Bitcoin is to buy. Also, this is happening because they're starting to run some ads. This is a pretty good ad. I saw Bitwise is running an ad. This is that guy that did the beer commercials. But listen, this is pretty cool. Play it real quick for you. I already played it once.
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
There you go. So they're already starting. We'd be running these advertisements if they didn't think Bitcoin was going to become an ETF. So yeah, it's going to be happening. So you got a buying strategy. You got Bitcoin. It's up 1.8% in the last hour, 1.1% in the last 24 hours. It's been as high as a little over 44,000 here recently. So we're still off those highs of 44,000. So yeah, you need to get in, even if it's a few $100s, whatever you can afford. Buy right now, because you're going to get ahead of about a massive amount of, Bitcoin could double in market cap. It's 829. It's almost $1 trillion. It's a little off $1 trillion, but it could double in market cap here in the next few months. And then on top of that, you got the halving. So, it's time to do it. It's time to pull the trigger. It's time to get after Bitcoin if you haven't done it already. And if you're not understanding Bitcoin, just try a little bit of money. See what happens. I want to see what the news is today on Bitcoin search. Yeah, you got Gensler right there. I think they're talking about in kind. Don't let that distract you. Basically, it's just an accounting thing. In kind means like. So they want, where was that I read about in kind? It just means that it's like in nature. So the ETF will be in kind with whatever Bitcoin that the trust or the ETF is holding. So when they move from the trust into the ETF, it will be a taxable event for the IRS. So that's why they're saying it's going to, right here, this is the one I was reading about. So the SEC attaches a string to Bitcoin ETFs. Get rid of the pop-up. And investors will be the one to pay for it. So this is a thing where the taxable events going to take place for those ETF holders. For the people who own Bitcoin, they're moving to ETF. That's going to be a taxable event, and of course, it's going to be passed along to the consumer. Plus, I see where the fees are going up as far as Bitcoin's concerned. And I noticed that if you buy Bitcoin now, there's a huge spread. So if you go try to buy Bitcoin like through Coinbase, it's 42,381. But I'll bet you're going to pay close to 43,000 by the time they transact with all the spread between what it costs to buy the Bitcoin and what there's actually it's being, where you're actually able to buy at the point the price is 42,381, but I'll bet you're over 43,000 by the time you get the transaction finished. So there's a big spread right now with what the price you're seeing and what the price you're actually being able to purchase at. So that's going on too. A lot of stuff going on. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Put Jessica on the screen. Jessica. Hello, Kent. How you doing? Nice to see you, Jessica. So, yeah, we're just at the Bitcoin deal. Habla español. I've been working on my Spanish. I've been getting a little bit better at it. You know, I speak a little bit of Spanish, not very good, but kind of a little bit. And I've finally come to the conclusion how you learn Spanish. You don't learn Spanish by translating um, English to Spanish. You just got to forget about English, and when you're learning Spanish, because the way they construct their sentences is not the way we construct sentences in English. So you have to just completely forget about everything you knew about English, like you don't know any language at all, and then start learning the Spanish, because the structure of the and then they have so many different words, like K can be that, it can be which, it can be everything. I mean, it's just there's so many different variations of a certain word like K. I'm getting better. I'm going to get better. One of these days, I'm going to do a whole. I can do probably a fair job giving one of these lives in Spanish, but it would be only average. I mean, I probably make a lot of mistakes and people would laugh, so I don't want to do it. But I will do it one of these days. I'll get good enough one of these days. I spend an hour a day on working on my Spanish. One of these days, I'll be good enough to where I think I can do an entire broadcast in Spanish, and I'm looking forward to that, because what Spanish is the third or fourth most spoken language in the world. And what I know when I go to Mexico is a lot of people in Mexico speak more English than we speak Spanish. So a lot of people in Mexico have made the effort to speak English, but we haven't made the effort to speak Spanish. And I mean, that's too bad, because you're cutting yourself off from an entire group of people that speak Spanish, especially here in Southern California. I mean, Southern California, I would say, I mean, there's no place you can go in Southern California and not hear Spanish. I mean, you're going to hear Spanish everywhere. I go to I hear Spanish every day, just traveling around San Diego, grocery stores, convenience stores, everything. I mean, most of the people that work behind counters here in Southern California are bilingual. If you're not bilingual, you're probably not going to get a job at some of these places. So yeah, Spanish is important. I like Spanish. I enjoy listening to it. I'm getting to the point where I'm so good at it that I can listen to stories or listen to broadcasts in Spanish and understand 95% of what they're saying. Every now and then I get caught on a word and I get kind of messed up. But anyway, you reminded me of that, Jessica. Thanks. I appreciate that. So anybody else want to come on and talk? After I give my information about Spanish instead of Bitcoin. But anyway, Bitcoin, I'm liking Bitcoin right now. I think everybody should like Bitcoin, because if you're not into Bitcoin because of the ETF, obviously, you're into Bitcoin because of the halving. So we got a lot of things going on. And if there's nothing else going on, I'm going to sign off here in about eight minutes. And hopefully I can build a little bit more people talking and coming out and giving me their opinions, because I'd like to hear somebody that doesn't feel. I mean, it's been a long time since. I've heard a lot of people talk. So there's been a lot of people that have been negative Bitcoin. In fact, I've just not too long ago heard people say that they think Bitcoin's going back to like $12,000. I'd like to hear some of those people and see what they got to say now, especially with the ETFs. Just almost everything. It's like the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's so much smoke right now with the ETF. You can't see your hand in front of your face. That's how much information is being thrown out right now about the ETF. It is everywhere. It's going to happen. I mean, if it doesn't happen, you're going to have, there's got to be something almost catastrophic happen within the world that keep this ETF from trading, or in January, as far as BTC is concerned, as far as Bitcoin's concerned. I don't care about Ethereum. I don't care about any of the altcoins. I mean, I still follow EOS because Chase is in EOS and we run an app on EOS. But as far as Ethereum, I've owned some Ethereum. In fact, I bought Ethereum right before they made the announcement it was going to be become an ETF too, an exchange traded fund. But then I sold it right away and went back to Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin is the more safe, easier play. And before I sign off, I will say one thing about these altcoins. And I'll remember when we were doing our altcoin. The thing about an altcoin you got to understand is altcoins, they're not capped in the amount of money that they can produce. I mean, in other words, Ethereum or any of these other altcoins, they are programmable blockchains where they can program not a fixed amount of Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin's 21 million, it'll never be any higher than that. But with these altcoins, they can raise the amount of money that they have, the amount of coins that they have created. In fact, with EOS, they can create a 5% inflation, just write it into the code and bang, it's there. That's not so with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a fixed, and that's why Bitcoin is so valuable, because it has this very confined set of rules that are very strictly adhered to in Bitcoin and the Bitcoin protocol. And everybody is so entrenched within this set of confined rules that you can't break them. If you break them, you break Bitcoin, and then you can't break Bitcoin because there's too many people. There's too much hashing power. There's too much algorithm. There's too much computing power behind it. Michael Saylor talks about this all the time. Michael Saylor is an electrical engineer. He's worth billions of dollars. And he talks about who has a computer business called MicroStrategies. He talks about the fact you can't break Bitcoin because of the computing power behind it. There is so much computing power that is constantly backing up this network, and constantly that has, the protocol has been so strictly adhered to that you can't break it. Now that isn't so with the altcoins. With a lot of altcoins, they can change some of those things. They don't have a real structured foundation like Bitcoin does. That's why the guys from EOS sold, basically took the $4 billion that they raised in EOS, didn't plant it back into EOS like we thought they would, like they should have, what they honored that they would do. They turned around and bought Bitcoin. I think Block One's one of the largest owners of Bitcoin. So these guys are like Nova grads, and these guys they made out great because they just took the ICO money and bought Bitcoin. So I'm with Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's got to go up a lot before I start looking at any other altcoins. So I got my friend, Mr. Dragon, coming. Hello, Kit. How are you, Mr. Dragon? 21 million. That's correct. I'll put you on screen and show everybody. So Mr. Dragon says BTC $21 million. Yeah, the dollar. You've been watching YouTube videos like me. Everybody loves that little thing. Everybody says Burgo's money machine. I listen to this guy called The Uneducated Economist. If you want to listen to somebody I think that's got a real handle on this economy, listen to The Uneducated Economist. He's just an ordinary guy. Let me pull him up. This guy is pretty bright, and I like him. I get a lot of good information. I will listen to this guy over anybody else about the economy. If I can spell educated. There it was. I don't spell anything anymore because I just get it close, and then the algorithm, the thing pulls it up for me. So this guy right here, The Uneducated Economist, if you want to know about what's going on with the economy, check this guy out. He just operates out of his car. I haven't seen him shoot any videos, except sometimes he gets to, he goes along the side of a bank of a river and he'll do some videos that way. But this guy basically is telling everybody that they're not going to lower these interest rates. They're going to keep these interest rates where they're at. And all they're doing is they're just doing the fake out. They're telling the media to tell everybody, yeah, we think we're going to lower these interest rates. And everybody's thinking because of that, it's actually having that effect. People are thinking that the economy is going to pick up more because the interest rates are going to be lowered. But they're not going to lower the interest rates. And I'll tell you why they're not going to lower the interest rates. Because we're in an election year. And lowering interest rates means that our economy is starting to go into recession, because the only way they stimulate the economy is by lowering the interest rates, and that helps pick up the economy because money gets cheaper. So people borrow money and they do things with it. So they're going to only lower the interest rates if they feel like the economy is going bad. And if they lower interest rates, there's going to be this idea that maybe we're going into recession, and the Feds is front running the recession by lowering the interest rates because they think that we're going to go into a period of deflation or something like that. So they're going to lower interest rates, make money cheaper. They're not going to do that because right now they want you to believe things are going well. So they're going to keep these interest rates high, and they're not going to lower the interest rates because they don't want to show weakness in the economy. So Mr. Dragon has something else to say. So I'm doing well, and you, yes, I will follow this channel. Yeah, follow this guy. And I don't know this guy. I've never interacted with him. I just listen to his videos, and he's a young, I mean, not young guy. He's younger than I am. Everybody's younger than I am. But he's just a pretty not. He's knowledgeable. He reads them literally. He takes their information and doesn't build any narrative around it. He has no agenda. He's not trying to sell something. He's not on CNBC, and he's not trying to push anything. Although he is kind of a gold person. That's one thing I don't like about him. He likes gold, and I don't like gold. I've never liked gold. Gold's not portable. Gold's not transactable. Gold's not storable. Gold is expensive. Gold's a commodity. We don't know what the fixed supplies of gold are. There's so many problems with gold, it doesn't even enter the picture with me. I mean, the only people that resonate with gold are people that don't understand technology. If you understand technology, you're not in the gold game at all, or the silver game. I would go silver a little bit more than I would go gold, because silver is cheaper. And then also, if you want to barter, silver would be a lot easier to barter with gold. Plus, silver isn't faked as much as gold is. I mean, they've gotten to the point now where they can fake gold bars pretty easily. I guess they won't even take a gold bar unless they drill it, and that's the only way that they'll take gold bars anymore, because it's so easy to put another metal in there that has a similar weight and everything like that. So yeah, gold is just a bad idea. Never was a good idea. What got us into this fiat currency situation to begin with, because of the fact that it wasn't portable and people couldn't use it to transact with. So gold's not. That's the only thing about this guy I'm not really that fond of, is gold. But uneducated economist, he's a good guy. He doesn't push anything. You don't have to listen to 100 ads about VPNs and all the other stuff that they always throw at you when you're doing these videos. So check him out. And also, just keep an eye on Bitcoin right now, because it's starting to run. And I'll try to keep people up posted on what I think. I think the ETFs is pretty much done. I think Bitcoin's probably going to be approaching 50 grand here pretty quick. We're coming into the season. Next week, I think, is Christmas. Next Monday's Christmas. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'd say right after Christmas, look out for the bulls, man. They'll be running after Christmas. And it may be going up till Christmas, but after Christmas, I think you're really going to see some hard action. There may be a little sell-off right before the ETFs actually get announced, because a lot of people will sell based on the fact that there's a lot of anticipation and more, because there's FOMO going on, fear of missing out. So a lot of people are going to do short terms just to bet until they get the ETF approved, and then they bail right before the ETF gets approved, because they're in that anticipation thing. But that would be really dumb, because if you did that, you're going to miss out on the halving, which is going to squeeze the price even more. And I had to get a train come through here before I could get this broadcast done. But anyway, I'm at 20 minutes almost. Actually, what is my 17 minutes, 18 minutes? Yeah, almost 18 minutes. And Mr. Dragon's got another comment. Okay, Mr. Dragon, learn every day and don't watch TV. There you go, my friend. I haven't watched TV in years. I don't even remember when I quit watching TV. Probably, it's probably been 15 years when I quit watching TV. I just started getting on the internet. When I started getting on the internet, I found there's no more need to watch TV. And I don't even know why people watch TV. What is there on TV that you want to watch? I mean, what could possibly be on TV? I mean, everything is on. I mean, you can watch TV. If you want to watch a TV program or a show or a series or something like that, a lot of these are just on YouTube or some other streaming place. So those days are over with. TV it's gone the way of the horse and the buggy. So I don't do that anymore. So anyway, I think, yeah, we're at 20 minutes, close to 20 minutes. So this will be a little bit, 19 minutes. So anyway, that'll be about all I have to say today. Just keep on watching Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.